They were killed by African buffaloes. African buffaloes are very unpredictable and can be extremely dangerous to humans. They have been known to charge without warning towards people. They are capable of inflicting serious injuries or death on humans. They are responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any other large animal. An artist is killed as he goes for a walk. Mr. Simon Combs, 64, was a British wildlife artist who lived in Africa. He grew up on a farm in Kenya. His paintings were much sought after because of his accurate depiction of the wild animals in the country. He had a very successful exhibition at Nairobi's New Stanley Art Gallery in 1969. He was the author of 2 best-selling books, African Experience and Great Cats. He was also the winner of numerous art awards. He was walking in the Great Rift Valley, in 2012, with his wife and a friend when suddenly he was attacked by a buffalo. His companions were shocked, and could do nothing to help him as he was attacked over and over again. It took the air ambulance over 2 hours to reach the area, by which time he had bled to death. Buffaloes go on a killing spree. 3 buffaloes left the Botswana Chobe National Park Game Reserve in 2023. It is unclear why these animals left the park and went on the attack. One of them arrived at a school and went to the football grounds. It attacked and killed a 13-year-old child. Another buffalo injured a 37-year-old man in Kasaine, a town on the Chobe River. The following day another 2 men were attacked. One of these men died, and the other escaped with only minor injuries. Authorities said that 3 buffaloes had been put down. A hunter is killed by a buffalo. Claude Clan Hens, 54, was a big game hunter and was in charge of a group of hunters in South Africa in 2018. They were on an expedition along the banks of the Levu River in Limpopo, South Africa. The men had successfully killed a buffalo and were getting ready to load the body of the animal onto the truck. Everyone was excited about the kill, and they let their guard down. Without warning, another buffalo from the same herd charged at the group in a rage. Mr. Clan Hens was struck by the animal's horn in his leg. It pierced his femoral artery, and he bled to death before help could get to him. He had set up his own business called Jella Safaris, and became a professional hunter. He also ran fishing and photography tours in the area and the adjoining game reserve. Mr. Clan Hens became a tour guide in 1987 in Kruger National Park. Before that he was a police officer. African buffaloes when agitated or feeling threatened can be highly protective and may charge unexpectedly. It seems that this is what happened in this case. He was attacked and killed by a buffalo in 2008. 2 farm workers heard Roy Monks, 65, screaming one night on the farm at Mackay Lodge, outside of Hoedspruit in South Africa. When they found him, he was terribly injured and bleeding badly. They brought him to his house and informed his family. But he died very quickly. There had been reports of a buffalo wandering the area over the past few days. This was the first time it had killed though. A hunter is killed by a wounded buffalo. In many African countries controlled and regulated buffalo hunting is legal. Hunters usually use high-caliber rifles, which are able to kill a buffalo with one shot. 64-year-old Mario Najar was hunting in Costa, Uruguay. He was the president of Mexico's Hunting Federation. He was married with 2 children and worked as a lawyer. The buffalo was shot with a .458 Winchester Magnum. This should have killed it, but instead the animal was only wounded. It knew where the shot came from, and charged at the hunter. A guide who was with him at the time fired more shots at the running buffalo. But the animal managed to gore the hunter several times. The buffalo only died after being shot 5 times. Mr. Najar died of his injuries before he could get to the hospital. They are very social animals and form close-knit friendships amongst each other. They are very protective of each other within their own herd. They know the danger of human hunters from experience, and they defend themselves against these hunting parties as best they can. A buffalo kills a man who shot him at a farm in June 2022. Benjamin de Bruyn was a 50-year-old man who was at Oxford Farm in Limpopo. He was with the owner and another man at the time. For some reason he started shooting at the buffalo. But this enraged the animal and it charged at him. He was killed instantly. As this was happening, the owner jumped up a tree to get out of the way. He was injured, but he was able to recover in hospital. The other man managed to escape unhurt. A hunter in Zimbabwe is killed by a wounded buffalo. Mr. Lewis, 67, was working as a professional hunter on a private game reserve in Zimbabwe in 2012. 3 days earlier he had led a hunting party of American tourists. But they had only managed to wound a buffalo that they had been hunting. Mr. Lewis, originally from Britain, was an experienced hunter and did not want to leave the animal to die in agony. He and another man spent 3 days tracking the wounded buffalo. But as he approached the undergrowth, the buffalo suddenly charged and tossed him in the air. He was killed instantly because his neck was broken. The mysteries of African buffaloes. African buffaloes were often referred to as the Black Death by early hunters. They are also called Cape buffaloes. They live in the grasslands and woodlands of Africa. These buffalo are believed to kill up to 200 people every year. They are unpredictable and can be dangerous when cornered or provoked. They are incredibly strong and can charge at speeds of up to 57 kilometers per hour, 35 miles per hour. They can weigh between 1,000 to 2,200 pounds, 450 to 1,000 kilograms. They can be around 5 to 6 feet, 1.4 to 1.7 meters, tall at the shoulder. They are scientifically known as Cincerus kaffir. Buffaloes have a lifespan of around 15 to 25 years in the wild. They are very social animals, forming large herds that can consist of hundreds of individuals. Within these herds, there is a complex social hierarchy that is controlled by the older females. When it comes to the protection of their calves, the females will gather together to protect their young. These strong bonds will remain within the herd, even after their calves have grown up. But all the buffaloes will take immediate action when threatened by predators such as crocodiles, lions or hyenas. There are 4 recognized subspecies of African buffaloes: the Cape buffalo, Sudan buffalo, Nile buffalo, and forest buffalo. The diseases that affect these animals are bovine tuberculosis, foot and mouth disease, and rinderpest. For more facts about animals, click on the subscribe button.